Today we're taking a look at the Utah Jazz vs Memphis Grizzlies match, which is happening on Wednesday, May 26, 2021, and giving you my betting tips and predictions in general on this game. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours and hours of your time searching the internet for some fake betting predictions and losing your money because of it. Join High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advices instantly. The Grizzlies are a tough team to beat when they're efficient. That means avoiding boneheaded turnovers and being smart with their shot selection. Memphis is averaging 113.3 points per game. They finished with 112 points in their last game, making 45% of their field goals and 35% of their three-pointers. Dillon Brooks led the way for Memphis with 31 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Ja Morant finished with 26 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, while Jonas Valanciunas added 15 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 assists for the Grizzlies. Memphis has also played well defensively, giving up 110.9 points per game. They gave up 109 points in their last game and will need a similar effort if they want to get the win. Ja Morant has been lethal with his floater from close range, and there are times when it looks like teams aren't ready for it. That's the one positive that comes from being such a young basketball team. The Grizzlies are always in attack mode. That has to remain the case on Wednesday against a Jazz team that will surely come out swinging after the way Game 1 ended. Memphis has to be ready to absorb that revenge punch and hang around long enough to counter with one of their own. They also need Dillon Brooks to continue to remind the world that Morant isn't the only burgeoning star on the team. His performance in the opener was sensational to the point where it could tip the series in Memphis' favor if it continues. The Jazz had their 2-game winning streak snapped by the Grizzlies in their last game, falling behind in the series 0-1. They will try to bounce back with a win on Wednesday, which will give them their 8th win in their last 11 games and even up the series. The unpopular opinion is the Jazz did the right thing by looking after their star player, even if it meant him missing the first game of the playoffs. That's all in the past now, with Mitchell finally ready to suit up and hit the floor on Wednesday night. And that could mean problems for the Grizzlies. The Vivint Smart Home Arena is going to be electrifying when Donovan Mitchell returns to the floor on Wednesday night. It's easy to forget the Jazz were the best home team in basketball throughout the season, and they'll be ready to come out firing with the band finally back together. Yes, rust could be a factor for Mitchell, but the perennial All-Star's mere presence on the floor will make the Grizzlies react differently defensively, which will in turn free up other playmakers on the floor. You have to account for the guy averaging 26.4 points per game. Granted, rust could be a factor considering Mitchell hasn't played in a live game in over a month, and the intensity is quite a bit different in the postseason. But the Jazz clearly need all of the help they can get against the Grizzlies. They died by the three-pointer in the opening game. The team went 12 of 47 shooting from long distance despite having the 5th highest three-point shooting percentage this season. Those typical deep shots weren't falling for the Jazz in that game. They clearly aren't going to go away from that because it's part of their identity. But with Mitchell back in the lineup, they can't be as hesitant to put the ball on the floor and attack the rim. Bojan Bogdanovic did a tremendous job of getting after the Grizzlies the first game, and Mitchell being back should only amplify that effort in the rematch. The Utah Jazz are in a must-win game on Wednesday. A loss here would send them back to Memphis down 2-0, and the home court advantage they fought so hard for in the regular season would be gone. The Grizzlies match up well against the Jazz because they play good defense and have an effective big in Valanciunas who can deal with Gobert. Their gritty defense keeps them in most games, as their excellent record against the spread shows. The Grizzlies are 7-3 ATS in the last 10 meetings in Utah. While Mitchell is back for Utah, he hasn't played in more than a month, and it may take time for him to get his legs under him. The good news for Jazz fans is they will have their star back in the lineup, with Donovan Mitchell cleared to return for this game after missing more than a month of action with an ankle injury. My betting advice for that game is to pick Memphis plus 8.5. The Memphis Grizzlies are the 8th seed in the Western Conference, so there may be a tendency to overlook them. But they won 5 of their last 6 games in the regular season, beat San Antonio in the first play-in game, and then went into Golden State and beat the Warriors to earn the 8th seed in the Western Conference. The Memphis Grizzlies took the scenic route to the playoffs, as they had to win 2 games in the play-in tournament, but they're here and they made plenty of noise in their 112-109 road win over the Jazz in Game 1. Dillon Brooks led the team with 31 points on 13 of 26 shooting. Ja Morant added 26 points with 4 assists on 11 of 21 shooting. Jonas Valanciunas added 15 points with 12 rebounds, while Kyle Anderson chipped in with 14 points and 6 steals. As a team, the Grizzlies shot 45% from the field and 7 of 20 from the three-point line, as they looked to be in trouble after scoring just 17 points in the first quarter and falling behind by 14 points early. But they settled in the second quarter and dominated most of the game to lead by as many as 17 points before holding on for the narrow win as the Jazz cut the deficit to just 1 point late. Then they went into Utah for Game 1 and shocked the top-seeded Jazz 112-109. The Grizzlies' defense won this game, holding the Jazz to just 42% shooting overall and 25% from three-point range. Dillon Brooks poured in 31 points and grabbed 7 rebounds, while Ja Morant added 26 points. Jonas Valanciunas had 15 points and 12 rebounds, while Kyle Anderson chipped in with 14 points. The Grizzlies have no key injuries. The Utah Jazz have been playing without Donovan Mitchell for more than a month now, and while they have had their ups and downs, they managed to hold on to the top seed in the Western Conference. But now things get real, and they missed Mitchell in their 112-109 Game 1 loss to the Grizzlies. There's no more messing around, or the Jazz could be going home early. The Utah Jazz have been the best team in the league all season, but they will be kicking themselves after dropping the series opener after storming out of the gates to an early 14-point lead. Bojan Bogdanovic led the team in scoring with 29 points on 8 of 16 shooting. Mike Conley added 22 points with 11 assists and 2 blocks, while Rudy Gobert chipped in with 11 points, 15 rebounds and 3 blocks. As a team, the Jazz shot just 42% from the field and 12 of 47 from the three-point line, as they squandered an early lead before missing on a chance to force overtime after cutting a 17-point deficit to just 1 point late in the fourth quarter. Jordan Clarkson had a rough shooting night as he shot just 5 of 16 from the field and 0 of 8 from the three-point line, while Mike Conley shot 6 of 18 from the field. But what really put the Jazz off was the late scratching of Donovan Mitchell, who was ready to until just before tip-off. My second betting advice for that game is to pick over 218. Good luck to all of you.